Soul family. Peace, peace, everyone. I hope you're all doing well tonight. Welcome to this powerful lesson transmission, this session. Welcome to this very powerful session. Welcome to everyone in the chat. Peace, Kem. Welcome. Welcome, Halis, Real Reviews, Layla. Peace, Layla. Welcome, Patricia Smith, Christy Yan, Carol Gribble, Des J, Distortions. I love when I see spiritual AU students here. You all are so hungry, so excited to learn, and that is just really amazing. Welcome, Mama G, the place to be. Peace Tay, Peace Ayana, Peacock Golo Atom. Welcome. So let's talk for a minute. Thank you for your patience here. The most was happening. Before we get into this lesson, I have to give you some background on this because I was actually scheduled or meant to teach something else. And this literally came during the 8/8 Lionsgate portal. It came into meditation. It was like, what is this about? And during that time, I was receiving more information about this lesson. And so make sure you have your pens, make sure you have your notebooks, because we're going to dive deep. This is like one of those lessons. I'm going to give you quite a bit of information. I do have it in presentation style for those who need to see it on the screen so you can follow along. But we're going to go in deep. Let me say this. This is not for everyone. This message is not for everyone. I'm not going to tell you to share it with your friends and family because it's not. It really isn't. This is for a specific group of people. This is for a specific soul group, a specific spiritual collective that are here to do soul work, that are here on their last incarnation. Okay? You know this is you because you just cannot be regular anymore. You just do not exist in the mundane world. You can't watch a movie without thinking or seeing spiritual alignments. You can't eat food without thinking about the food you're eating. You can't, everything that you do has a spiritual overlay to it. Okay. And that's how you know. And I'm not saying the shallow physical spiritual overlay that, and I'm going to tell you this right now, my ears are hot. In the next year, you're going to see a lot of people falling away from it because it was never a true container of holding people. What do I mean? So in 2019, I said, you're going to see a lot of people moving to spirituality, talking about crystals, herbs, all of that stuff. And we saw a resurgence of that in 2020 till about this year. You're going to see a falling away of that. Why? What do I always say? Knowing plus understanding equals power. You can give all the knowledge, read all the books, but if you don't have understanding, that individual is not empowered. If you're not empowered, you're going to feel like this is not working. Okay. And then there's the opposite. There are people that have felt spiritual gifts happening, movements within their body. They feel it spiritually, but they don't have the understanding, the logic, the science behind it. And so it doesn't make sense. And they don't have a place to put it and they can't prove it. And so what you're going to see are these people becoming, agnostic, which is not a real thing, or going back to systems that they are comfortable in, or just saying, oh, this just doesn't work. This is fake. This is false. And I wasn't going to speak on this, but I'm going to speak on it now. You had a lot of people in spiritual communities that were very ego-based and led from a place of, I'm superior than you. I know better than you. I'm this goddess. I'm this person. You're just a mere whatever you are. I remember when this was over 20 years ago, I grew up in church, left church, y'all. I went through multiple different religious practices. Let me say this. And then I went to a non-denominational church. This is like when non-denominational churches were like thriving, like TD Jakes, Creflo Dollar. Y'all remember that? Like in the early 2000s? Okay. And I remember, like, now, mind you, I grew up in the church. Like, I know the Bible in and out. Like, I love this. Like, I love the stories. And I remember someone saying to me, I had just joined this church, and they were talking about something in the Bible, and I was sharing something. And she said, "How would you know? You're just a babe in Christ." And I was like, "That's rude. I'm new to this space, and you're dismissing me because you think I have nothing to contribute because I'm new here." And so we've seen a lot of that happening in the spiritual or conscious communities, where people have this awakening or this awareness that there's something greater, and they connect with certain groups, and these groups chastise them or make them feel like you don't know what you're talking about, you don't know enough, you haven't read enough books, you didn't go to these seminars, you don't know this person. And so you're going to see a falling away of that. Okay, you're going to see, instead of a surgence of that resurgence, you're going to see the opposite happening in the next year. Just watch. And one thing that I've always said, I've always maintained, I've always said to you, is for you to master you. You get back to you. What do I say? If you're in the middle of the desert or the wilderness and you don't have a crystal, a tarot deck, a book, or whatever, internet, what are you going to do? Right? Do you actually have the skills because you've been doing the work? Not BS doing the work. That was a phrase people were using. Do the work, do the work. What the heck does that mean? Right? Spirituality is not peace, love, and light. I maintain that. People go into it thinking that my life is going to be easy now, right? And we're going to talk about this in the lesson as well. But because of these false layers or distortions, you have people that are disillusioned, and many of them are those who are here on a mission, those who are meant to ascend. And this is why this message is coming to you all. Because one of the things that Spirit was telling me is that I'm teaching many of you are leaders in this next reality, leaders. And I know that you may not see it now. And sometimes I speak to my students and I'm just like, just hold on. Like you're good. Like you're on the right track. Just don't give up. Because I can see that aura of leader, that aura of healer, like massive, in a massive way. And so this is who I'm speaking to. This is who this message is for. Now let's talk about what's happening energetically, what's happening calendar-wise, season-wise. Okay. So next week is the fall solstice. This year has had multiple energetic pathways or portals. I don't even like saying portals anymore. But spaces where the spiritual world has been very wide open. And there's a reason why. It's because we are in a transformative space this year, very transformative, right? And so this fall equinox is very important because it is literally going to so I want to say wash away, but it's not with water. It's almost like with air. Okay. It's going to remove those places of doubt within you, those places where you're stagnated, those places that you don't even realize that are holding you back from your full potential. This equinox is going to do it. Okay. And it has to do this because it has to prepare for the winter solstice, in which you're going to go into deep integration, hibernation, into a deep space of transforming to the new you. So we've been doing this work all year. We've been doing this work, some of us, for longer than this year. But this year has been pivotal. And we see it in the world stage because the most insane things have been happening this year. But we're not shocked by that, right? We were talking about this last year. Like y'all knew this was happening this year, right? The largest economic power in the world uh, basically lost its power on 8/8, France. France like they lost 8-8, lost everything. Everything just fell apart, collapsed. You don't hear it now. You don't really see much of it now, but that's a big deal. That's a big deal. A lot of us just think France is a small country, doesn't really affect me. Listen, English is not the number one language spoken in the world. French is. French. They have a foothold on a lot of places, and they just collapsed on 8/8. I'm sorry, 9/8. So September the 8th, 2025, which is 9/8/9. Okay? That's a big deal. So I'm not going to go into all the systems that are transforming because I talked on that earlier this year. I just wanted to share that little bit with you and where you are right now. One of the things as a spiritual being, I'm speaking to specific beings, okay, is that you are meant to, your work is to do your work. Your work is not to know what's going in the world, to be part of that, to be talking about that, okay? Unless your work literally is to help other people make sense of things. But that's not who I'm talking to. That's not who I'm talking to, okay? Your job is not to know the latest gossip, the latest whatever. You have work to do because you have work to do. And your work right now is really individual, is really working on yourself, proving yourself to you. I told someone a couple days ago, when I was a little girl, I read in the Bible. I don't even know where it is exactly. I think David was talking to God, and God was like, "Prove me." When I was a little girl, I read that. And so I was telling them I began the process of proving God. I was like, David can do it, I can do it too. And I've shared that with you, like prove your godness within you. So as you're going through transformations, like your job is to go through the transformation and know that you're being taken care of. You're going to be provided for. This is why it is so important to connect with people that are existing in a place of truth and righteousness. Listen, I don't care if it's like, well, this is my friend, or I met them at this spiritual conference, or they do yoga every day, or they are a Reiki practitioner. I don't care about none of that. Because someone who is unhealed and has not properly integrated spiritually with their spiritual work, they're going to project that onto you. And let me tell you how these conversations go. Peace, sis. Peace. How are you doing? I'm doing good. Did you see such and such? Oh, yeah, he was talking about whatever. He was on such and such's channel, but he was talking about spiritual beings such and such and such. Well, I heard that. Da, 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 da. Oh, he really is a narcissist. It goes from I'm talking to my spiritual sis to now one person is projecting something onto the other. Now you're having this low vibrational conversation that has nothing to do with either one of you healing. Do you understand? And what happens is that person who you perceive as whatever you perceive will pull you away from your work. I've seen it happen so many times, and I have students that have come to me and told me stories of this happening. But I taught about that. I taught about be careful of distractions, right? It is your responsibility to do your work. It is your responsibility to check who you're connected to. Let me tell you something. I don't care how long you know this person. I don't care how spiritual you think they are. Your spirit team will tell you something's not right. And you have to trust that. Nothing against them. Maybe they're just part of another soul group or someone else that has other work to do. Again, I'm speaking to when I say specific, I'm speaking to a specific group right now. We are here to do this work. We're here not just to do this work, make it practical, actually integrate it into our everyday lives. Into our everyday lives. It is not, oh, I'm spiritual here, but here I'm this person. No. So your community is important. One of the things I said in 2023, and I've shared this, I lost my memory, my not memory, I lost my ability to speak. I lost a lot of my memory, yes. But I lost my ability to speak. And one of the things I said is, I don't know who is who around me, friends, family, etc. I can't tell because I'm leading with my heart. And I asked my spirit team to reveal everyone, even if I'm hurt, disappointed, and sad. Just please, I just need to know the truth because I need to clean the space so that I can connect energetically to my true soul family. Do you understand? My true soul group, right? And it's not based on friends or we get along or we do this together. No, it's not based on any of that. It's not based on sex, gender, race, language, culture. If y'all really knew, we're talking about the non-physical, not based on what you have in common, where you're, none of that. And when you start connecting to your true people, and you're going to be side-eyeing, like, I'm not really sure. You'll be side-eyeing, and that's okay. Then stuff starts happening. Stuff starts happening. Stuff starts happening because they have something that you need. You have something that they need. It's mutual. There literally is a grid of energy that has to ascend, it has to move, but the pieces have to connect. And that is what is happening. And this is why everyone is getting exposed, everything is getting exposed, everywhere is getting, everything has to be exposed. So truth knows truth. Truth connects with truth. And so we're entering a very important time right now. In order for next week's solstice to be effective, I literally saw like someone like cloaked or covered with something, and like the spirit, this energy was trying to like whoosh out things that no longer needed to exist in them, but they were cloaked, they were covered. And we have to uncover that covering. And this is what I'm teaching today. And this is why I'm teaching it now. I was literally told September 14th of September, a month ago. And I was like, that's a Sunday. I never teach on Sundays. And I just, September 14th, okay, I'm going to go with it. It wasn't until today that in meditation, a few hours ago, I said, why today? Why September 14th? And I did the numerology. It's a 5-day. Five is the number of change, but it's 959 or 599. It doesn't matter. It's a mirror number. Mm, mm, mm. The old has to leave. It has to be washed away so that the new can emerge. And then from September, there's work that's going to be done until the winter solstice. And that's when it gets deep. That's when it gets deep. And mark my words, you will be distracted. There will be major distractions that are going to happen because there are beings of power that know this is happening and don't want you to do this work because it negatively affects them. They can't run the systems that they've been running. The reality is it doesn't matter. It's happening anyway. But I always say, you can do it the easy way or you can do it the hard way. We choose doing it the easy way. We choose connecting to spiritual privy, getting the messages in advance, getting what Spirit is telling us to do, and then doing it so that we're flowing through. 177 in the chat. I know that what I'm going to teach you tonight is going to break barriers, is going to lift things. And it's not going to seem like it. It may seem like, well, this is basic. One thing is that I will always teach you fundamental and what may seem basic, because sometimes we have to receive it that way. I'm never going to teach you over your heads where you're like, what the heck is she talking about? What does that word mean? Who does that serve? That serves my ego. I'm empowered. You're disempowered. I'm taking your energy when I do that, right? So I'm going to teach you things that seem, well, this is kind of easy. This is basic, but really is soul changing, soul transforming. Okay. And I know it's powerful because as I was preparing, I said, I'm going to do it in PowerPoint format so they can follow along. And I thought there was an earthquake. There was literally a section. And when I get to the section, hopefully I can remember to point it out. And I felt my room shake. And it felt like an earthquake. And so I immediately looked out the window to see if the lake was like, if the water was like in waves, like was it moving? The lake was placid, it was still. I looked to see if my cats were running because animals react when there's earthquakes. I'm like, is there an earthquake? Like what happened? I checked, I thought maybe like a car hit my house. I felt like a shake, like I literally was shaken. Everything was fine. And I took a deep breath, went to my altar space, and I said, what was that? And I heard dimensional tremor. Listen, I'm going to teach you some things now that's going to shake the dimension that you're in because you need to get to the next one, the higher one. Okay? This is powerful. Take notes. I want you to tap in. I want you to feel this. Remember, it's not just about learning it, it's about resonance. Do you feel it somewhere within your body as I'm teaching it? Okay? So, let's begin. Let's begin. Let's begin. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let me know this first. Again, I'm speaking to a specific group. Let me know if you are any one of these people. Number one, or if you're all of them. Number one, this is for you if you know that you are here for something better, but you feel like something keeps pulling you off track. Like you're here to do this thing, but like you keep feeling like I'm off track somehow. Number one. Number two, this is for you if you feel like you've been carrying the weight of others. It's not your weight, it's not your burden, but like you've been carrying the weight, especially if you are the oldest sibling. Okay? Or in your household, you might be married, but the burden may be on you, and it's not yours to carry. Number two. Number three, this is for if you feel like you're doing the work. You're like, I'm doing the work, professor, but I feel like I'm not moving anywhere. I'm not progressing, but I'm doing the work. Number three. Okay, that's you put number three. Number four, if you feel like you're a spiritual leader and you've helped others do their work, you're helping others reclaim who they are. Remember, you're helping others grow. People are saying thank you so much, but you feel like there's some parts of me that are not all the way. And should I even be doing this at this level? Maybe I need to fix myself first. Number four, okay? You don't have to put it in the chat if you don't want to. You can keep it to yourself, okay? This is for the teacher who forgets. This is for the healer who doubts, okay? And the ancient one who feels like, I don't belong here. Okay? If you've been feeling the nudge to realign, to release what isn't yours, and to walk your soul path with clarity, this is for you. Okay? Stephanie said 1, 2, 3. Christiane, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? This is for you. I'm going to speak directly to you all tonight. All right? Let's all take a deep breath. Let's take a deep breath. I'm going to share the presentation on the screen. There are a lot of words. Listen, I don't want you sitting here feverishly trying to write everything down. It's more important that you feel it. Some people are visual learners. They have to see. Some people are sentient learners. They have to feel. Some people are kinesthetic. They have to move around. Okay? You learn how you learn. Okay? but I'm doing it in this way so that we cover all bases. I want you to feel what I have to say, and we're going to stop at certain points to make sure that it resonates with you. All right? Everyone ready? If you're ready, type a 9 in the chat, and I will share my screen. All right. Awesome sauce. Okay. Let's do this. There we go. All right. Let me go back. Let me go back to the first slide. Okay. There we go. Okay. So the title of tonight's lesson, yes, for those who just joined, we in class tonight. We in real class tonight. We at spiritual AU level class tonight. Okay. And so the lesson for tonight is the 3 distortions that hijack the soul path. Okay, uncovering the subtle misalignments that delay your mission and fragment your energy. These are subtle. You don't notice them. It may be hard to even recognize them. You may not want to admit them, but this is the cloak that is over you that is preventing your spirit team from really getting in and doing the work. Okay, let's proceed. So what is a distortion? What is a distortion? So a distortion is a subtle misalignment in perception, identity, or service that pulls the soul off course. It is subtle, y'all. Okay? It may look or feel like truth, okay, but it's rooted in interference, keeping your mission delayed, your gifts tangled, and your energy fragmented. This is so important because you can be fooled by it. Not fooled by a day or a week, by years. People are fooled years, decades. Okay. Distortions mimic purpose while masking power. You feel empowered. Maybe you're making good money. Okay. You feel strong. You're like, oh, yes, I did this thing. I did that. Right. And it looks like this must be my purpose. This must be what I'm here to do. It's distorted. When revealed, distortions lose their hold, allowing the soul to realign and move forward. I'm teaching this because this process is subtle and it is so difficult, right? You know, you have that splinter in your foot and you can feel it, but you can't get it out. And it's frustrating. So you're like, oh, just forget it. And it's still in your foot. And it's like, maybe it's like glass or something that you can't see. And so now you're walking the wrong way. You're limping because of that tiny splinter. It's so subtle. And it will change your path, but you will think you're on the right path. And this is a problem because as spiritual beings, it is so important for us to be aligned. Y'all remember that lesson when I talked about we have to be aligned, because in order for us to get to that place we're supposed to be, that higher frequency, that higher dimensional space, there's a very small line that we have to be in. But if we're on the wrong line, the wrong path, we don't get to that space. And then we become frustrated. Okay, let's continue. So there are 3 distortions. There are 3 distortions. The first one is fake responsibility. Okay. The second one is the identity loop. And the third one is displacement. Okay. And I'm going to go over each one. I do not want you sitting here feverishly taking notes. Watch the replay. You're going to want to watch the replay and study this. For those who need to see this on the screen, they will have it. Let me make it a little bigger. There we go. Okay. So let's talk about the first distortion, the false responsibility. Let's talk about the origin of false responsibility. 222. Woo! 222 in the chat. This distortion was amplified during the fall of the healing temples and the rise of patriarchal extractive systems. Now, let me tell you this. I will one day go over this. I will one day do a teaching on this. I don't know how public it will be, but I will, because there is a truth. There's so many questions that people have about, well, how did the patriarchy take over? How did these beings take over? There is a truth to this. I will share the truth and you will know within your being that it is the truth. But this distortion took place then. Healers were forced to prove their power through suffering and sacrifice. Listen, listen. When the healing temples fell and the patriarchy rose, the healers had to prove themselves through suffering and sacrifice. This is too familiar to so many people, especially in religion, when you're told the meek shall inherit the earth. Or you're given these things about these spiritual leaders that were they suffered and they sacrificed, and you're thinking that's true spirituality. Let me take it back. The cultural shift imposed martyr programming as a sign of legitimate healing authority. I can just take this and teach for hours on this. This created a deep-rooted pattern where sacrifice became synonymous with spiritual service. Where sacrifice became synonymous with spiritual service, y'all. Y'all get this? I need to take a moment with this, because this is the true history. Because healers never had to, the truth, and we're talking about women here, never had to prove who they were. They just were. They didn't have to. In order to heal, you have to be aligned with abundance, the idea of abundance. Listen, listen. In order for me to heal you from a disease, I have to know that your body can abundantly heal itself, that there is abundance everywhere. I have to know that there's herbs literally growing outside of your door that will heal you. I have to have that mindset of abundance. And if I'm existing in that space, then there's no sacrifice. What do I have to sacrifice? That's not even a word that is in resonance. And we are mistaught, y'all. We're mistaught. Again, I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I don't have to suffer. What do I have to suffer for? I don't have to starve. I don't have to be homeless. I don't have to have any need for anything, because everything is there. That is the truth. This earth is abundant. The energy here has always been that. And the first beings that operated in these temples knew that. Let's continue. So function and target. Let's talk about the function. The function was to overwrite sovereign service with martyr programming. Listen. Overwrite sovereign service with martyr programming. It causes the soul to internalize others' pain as its own. I have to suffer and sacrifice to be spiritual. It creates entanglement that drains vitality and delays mission fulfillment, y'all. If all these spiritual systems had it right, all these religions, had it right, we would not be in the position that we're in. Y'all, for real, think about it. Think about it. It's real basic. It really is basic. And I know so many of you are like, duh, that makes sense. There's a verse in the Bible that Like 90% of the world gets wrong. Love your neighbor as thyself. And your condition, love your neighbor first, then love yourself. And that is not even how it's written. Love yourself first, then you can love your neighbor. Even the idea of giving and receiving. You are supposed to receive first, and then you give out of your abundance. You give out of what you have. You don't give, and no, it's okay. No, it's okay. This is spiritual. I'm sacrificing my pocket, my 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 needs because I'm doing something spiritual. No. That is wrong. It delays mission fulfillment. Because for real, if Spirit told me to write a book and I have to pay to buy the books, but I'm concerned about paying my light bill. I don't know if y'all hear me. I don't know if y'all hear me. Let's continue. Woo! It replaces healthy service with self-sacrifice, blurring emotional boundaries. You feel guilty. You feel bad. You're right. That's not spiritual if I ask for money for donation. That's not spiritual if I say, can you support me in this? My spirit team will make all my needs come to me. I'm just going to meditate on it. I'm going to manifest this. There was we were in the Reiki class and a story was told. I never heard the story. Listen, light bill distortion. I never heard the story before. When Reiki was first being practiced, not first being practiced, when it became, well, let's say energy healing. And they were so excited. They were just giving it like anyone, you want it? Here it is. Let's heal. And people were getting healed and disregarding the practitioners. It was like, oh, that's nothing. I just got healed. Disrespectful to them, disregarding them. They no longer were so excited that they were giving to them, like trading with them. Like you couldn't walk and now you can walk and you just say, oh, well, there's not even a thank you. And so, and let me address this because someone said in a message, and I've been told this multiple times, these are secret systems that you're not supposed to share. Yes and no. Systems and even the earth was held in secret because there were beings that were not supposed to have hold of them because they were taking advantage of them. So what happened to this system of Reiki energy healing is that y'all taking it for granted. You're not even grateful for it. You think that there's no exchange for this. Guess what? Nobody gets it now. And now the system was secret for years. Let's continue. So the target audience. This distortion is specifically for soul-led beings who carry healing lineages, especially women and teachers. Can it be men? Yes. Men who are in balance with divine feminine energy. It did not mean women. Feminine is internal, masculine is external. Okay? So men who are intuitive or connected in that way, right? That know how to work their magic. That's what I'm speaking about. But we're generally speaking about those who are in the female physical body and those who carry healing lineages, like your mama, your grandma, they were all healers. These are those who are burdened with ancient roles of healing and intercession. And because of that, you are prone to taking on others' pain as your own. These are the people that are truly empathic. Like, people know how to target you. Literally. Let's continue because we have quite a bit to get through. So, the symptoms, and we're going to use the internal phrase. So, the internal phrase, this is what you say to yourself. We're going to take a pause Because there's something that you say to yourself that activates this within you every time. And this phrase, or similar to this phrase, is you feel like it's my job to carry what others cannot. You say something like this or something similar to this. If you're in a relationship with a spouse or a partner or a husband, wife, whatever, and they're going through something, what what activates this trauma within you, this thing within you, distortion within you, is when you feel like it's my job to carry, because they can't do it right now, so it's my job. It's always your job. If it's in your family, well, I'm the spiritual one. It's my job. I'm the healer. In your friend group, this is my job. I'm the healer. I'm the one who knows. Because of that, you feel chronic exhaustion. Your vitality is drained. Your energy is drained all the time. You're overgiving, sacrificing yourself as martyr, and you're burnt out. You can't get up to meditate because you're exhausted. Because you just said yes. Because someone asks you something, because you're spiritual, they know you're gonna say yes. They would tell you no, but they know you're gonna say yes because you preaching love and light and, oh, let's love each other in spirituality. And you wearing the crystals, so you're the martyr, and you feel guilt when you're like, I need to sleep, I need to rest, or you tell people no. You don't want to tell people no because then they'll judge you. I knew you wasn't all that spiritual, and you feel guilty behind it. Let's take a moment. Let's take a moment, because these internal phrases are, yes, they are internalized. They are specific to you, but this is what they feel like. What do you say to you? Well, I wasn't really there for my kids, so like now I got to be there for them. I really don't want to watch their kids, but I have to. I need the money for my bills, but let me give it to them. I don't really want to co-sign this thing with my friend, but their credit is not good and mine is, so let me co-sign it. Or listen to this one. I am tired, and I know that such and such is calling me because she wants to vent. She's on her spiritual journey. She's going through this process, but every time I tell her what to do, she doesn't do it. Do not feel like answering this phone. If I don't answer it, then I'm not being a spiritual person. Let me answer this phone. You automatically drained. Before you even answer the phone, you drained. Take a moment, whatever your phrase is, whatever that thing is you say to yourself, because you say something to yourself, write it down on your own notes. Write it down. And as you write it down, I want you to take a moment to say it to yourself. And when you say it to yourself, I want you to feel where you feel it in your body. So I'm going to sit quiet for 30 seconds to allow you all to do that. If you want to share it in the chat, you're more than welcome. Okay, let's continue. So the reversal, how do we reverse it? So we know what it is now. What do we do to reverse it? You reclaim the original frequency of sovereign service. You offer what is truly yours to give without anchoring others' timelines inside your vessel. What does she mean by this? You were never meant to carry everyone's burdens. Listen, holding others' pain will drain your vitality and it will delay your mission. You don't have to. You don't have to carry their stuff. You can hold space for it, but you create a space and you hold that space. And when that's done, you release that. It is not your job. You are not the martyr. You don't have to sacrifice. You don't have to suffer any longer. Real service means giving from a full place, not pouring until you empty or carrying timelines that aren't yours. Like that is your brother's issue. You didn't smoke you didn't smoke the stuff. You're not on drug. You didn't make those decisions, but he's calling you and you feel responsible somehow because you're the older sibling. I don't know who that's for, but you no, it's no. No. That is your timeline. I had a part in that, but no longer. I can no longer hold on to your stuff because I have my own work to do. I can tell you what to do. I can guide you to the right place, and that's it. Let go of trying to fix people before they are ready. This is for all those spiritual beings that are on their soul mission, doing their work on their path. Let go of trying to fix people before they are ready. Trust me, they know who you are. They know where you are. They will find you. Stop it. You are not here to heal the world. You are here to heal those people that will magnetize to you. That's it. Trust me, they know. And they will ask you when they are ready. Until then, you'll be the weird person. You'll be the whatever, like, oh my gosh, here she goes again talking about chakras. And when that happens, your energy is drained. And you feel like, well, maybe I'm not, they don't see me as this. We're not doing that no more. Honor your own energy boundaries. Find 5 ways to say no. No, that's not going to be good for me right now. No, no, I don't think so. Nah. Find 5 ways to say no. Put it on a sticky somewhere. And when that person calls, which no am I going to say today? You can only give truly as a spiritual being when you are full. You have the right to say no. Let's continue. So, what to do? Number one, check your source. So, ask yourself, am I offering from overflow or depletion? This is going to help you discern if your giving is sustainable or draining your vitality. Okay. Number two, clarify requests. I like this one. Ask, was this asked of me or did I jump in? Did someone actually ask me this or was I just, oh, here, I have something to help you? This empowers you to distinguish between genuine calls for help and self imposed burdens. It's not you being mean, it's not you being rude. I told a student yesterday, was yesterday, when did we speak? I don't know, a couple days ago. I was like, look, stop being rude to yourself at risk of being rude to other people. If you think they were like in a train or something and somebody wanted to sit next to them, you have the right to say, pick another seat. She said it was like an empty bus or train and the person wanted to sit next to them. And I was like, no, you say no, don't sit there. But that's rude and I'm spiritual. So I'm going to be rude to myself. I don't want you in my space. Go sit somewhere else. Oh, but that's not being nice, Professor. To who? To who? Number 3, stop anchoring others. Release the habit of carrying other people's timelines inside your own vessel. This preserves your sovereignty and energy for your mission. Your mission is your mission. The only peoples that you can anchor are your children until it's time for them not to. And how do you know this? When you tell them, like, look, let me read your chart. This is what you're here to do. This is your work. This is who you are. I taught you how to meditate. I taught you this stuff. You can do it or not. If you do it, I can support you. If not, you got to figure it out on your own. But I'm not responsible of holding your stuff. That's it. Not your children is it. Y'all, that's it. That's it. It's not your spouse. It's not your spouse. And I'm saying children because at some point you have to take care of them. Whatever the age that is for you. But at some point, they can take care of themselves. Stop feeling guilty, moms, dads. Anyone else? Mm-mm. It's a no. Number 4, give what's truly yours. Offer only what is truly yours to give, not what you feel pressure to. Let go of trying to fix people before they're ready. Okay? How y'all feeling? Let me know in the chat. How are you feeling? Did y'all resonate with this one? Did this one bring something up within you? Do you feel like this is the distortion that I'm dealing with? Like I said, they seem very easy, but these go deep. Each one's going to go real deep. Okay, clear. Good. I like it when you're clear. All right. Dorothy says, so much brought up. Yeah. All right, let's continue. Distortion number 2, the identity loop. Its origin is that it arises from manipulated soul contracts during times of incarnation trauma, including traumatic births and soul swaps. It also involves false soul group identification, adding to the confusion of the soul's true path. It operates primarily through the mental field, using self analysis to replace authentic soul activation. And this mental looping traps the soul in endless reflection, preventing full embodiment and external impact. Now, I know I said some things here that you may be like, huh? Okay, we're going to talk about incarnation trauma, soul swaps, and false group identification. Again, these are subtle things that you may not look at, but these things are preventing you from fully being on your path. Okay? So let's talk about that first. Let's talk about what I mean by traumatic births. So traumatic births are birth experiences where there's shock, um, your soul's entrance into this body or dimension. There was something traumatic that happened. So it might have been physical trauma. For example, C-section is a physical trauma. You know how many babies in the 90s and early 2000s, I think early 2000s, excuse me, where people were just scheduling births. So you have a whole generation of millennials that have that trauma. And we won't go into how it's played out. Oxygen deprivation. Okay. Baby was in a canal too long. If the baby was in a NICU, they were separated. Babies believe that they're connected to their mothers up until 6 months. They don't know that there's a difference. So being separated, okay? Um, energetically, uh, being born into a household or lineage not aligned with the original soul frequency. So you feel like I am nothing like my family. You don't even look like your family, some of you. It's traumatic. Maybe you're super intuitive or super connected, and your family is just like all of them are just like on some other love and hip hop type stuff. And you're like, who are these people? Okay. There's also spiritual birth trauma. And this is when, listen, oh my gosh, this is when the soul is shocked into embodiment before it's ready. This happens to people that do sacred plant medicine and theogens, and they are not ready to do it. Oh, that's ayahuasca. That sounds interesting. Let me do an ayahuasca retreat. And your spirit team is like, what? Wait a second. You don't know who you are. You don't know how to meditate yet. What? Don't do it. What are you doing? You don't know who the right person is to connect to. Like, what's happening? Or people that practice astral traveling. I want to travel outside of my body. No, you can put your soul in a traumatic place. Okay, let's talk about soul swapping. Let's talk about soul swapping. Whew. Take a drink of water on that. This does not happen often, but it can happen. And so this is when the you may have heard of walk-ins. So the original soul vacates the body and another soul or consciousness steps in. Okay. It's walk-ins when it's done in sacred agreement. When a soul is like, I can no longer be in this, I can no longer do this. And so another soul that can take over that mission will come in. That's in an agreement. The souls agree. There's also one where the soul is hijacked. Mm. You may have people call it possession, right? Um, this is done in distortion, where another entity comes in without soul permission. Okay. I don't know if how deep I go there. No, let's not go too deep into it. But these people are, yeah. Oh gosh, I mean, not. I try not to say certain things. Let me give you some tips and hints, and you can figure it out on your own. These people will often feel like they're living someone else's life. Okay, and they will be diagnosed with like multiple personality disorder. They will feel like they're in someone else's bodies. Like this body is not mine. And they will also be diagnosed with a mental health disorder, or they do certain things to their body because they're like, this is not my body. And they're many times right. Listen, we don't talk about this enough. Okay. They're confused about who they are like chronically every day. And they feel like the personality, like things are just shifted. They just something is just off and they don't understand. It is not it's becoming more common. Let me say that. But it's not like a really common thing. Okay? This happens, listen, this happens when portals are left unguarded and a soul exits due to trauma. This happens a lot to children. This, oh my gosh, I didn't want to go here. This happens a lot to children because children are walk around with this open portal, this open energy. And if it's not protected, these things can happen. Let me now let me go to the next one. Um, so false soul group identification. This is when someone believes they belong to a certain lineage, a certain soul group, or spiritual family, but it is not actually their true origin. Ooh, listen. Mm, mm, mm. This is being recruited into a group that feels like home, but it isn't. Your friend, your family, whatever, saying, "You should join this group. You should do this. It's real fun." And da 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 da. And you're like, "Okay." And you're like, "This doesn't. I don't really click with these people. Maybe it's me because I'm the odd person. Doesn't feel like home, but maybe it's me." These can be religious organizations or just community groups. It's not you. There has to be resonance there. Okay. It may be past life bleed through. So you mistake a past affiliation with the current one. In your past life, you were part of this group, but it doesn't mean that you're supposed to be in this lifetime. Okay. Also, lineages. Maybe you're not a healer. You should be careful to do healing work, but it's cool. I like it. Is that really what you're supposed to be doing? Okay. This is how we have people that come in and out of practices and things because they're not really sure what they're supposed to do. Okay. Also, programming mental distortions from false light systems or distorted spiritual teachers. And one by one, they're all getting exposed. You'll see it falling away. They were talking about this, and now they're talking about this. One thing I admire about Sister Myra, the same thing she was talking about in 2008 is the same thing she's talking about now. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. That's a true teacher. Dr. Delbert Blair, the same thing he was talking about in 1958 was the same thing he was talking about in 2008. It no longer can exist anymore. Okay. Um, and so you may be aligned with the wrong soul group. Okay. This is a powerful teacher. You should listen to this person. May not be your teacher, your person. Okay. And so you take on missions that aren't yours. We're all going to come together and do this thing. And you're like, I don't really want to do this, but if everyone else is doing it, you're supposed to be a this. Spirit is telling me, your ancestors are telling me you're supposed to do this. And you're like, I don't even, what? You're supposed to be a florist and you're supposed to grow flowers for the soul family. And you're like, I have a whole allergy to flowers. How is that? Okay. And what happens is that loyalty gets confused with purpose. Let's continue. Now we understand that we understand what the incarnation trauma. We understand what soul swaps are and false soul group identification. Yes, we were clear on that, so we can go forward. Everyone is clear on what those three things are, because you won't understand the next if you don't understand what those three things are. If you're not clear on it, okay. All right. Let's proceed. Okay, so the function of this is to mimic the spiritual awakening process, but it prevents completion. It will mimic, like you think, oh, I'm spiritually awakening, but nothing's happening. You're not ever going to complete. It keeps your soul stuck in an endless reflection of self-analysis, doubting yourself. I don't know if you don't have space to practice or to try. Okay. It prevents embodiment and external impact on the world. It prevents you from doing your work because maybe you're told you're not ready yet. You just became awakened. Have you read this book? Did you read this book? Did you read this book? You know, read this book. You know who that person is? Oh, you need to do some more before you can. Now you're in your head. Remember, this is the mental thing. You're overthinking. It creates a cycle of overthinking that literally Block soul activation. It keeps you stuck in this cycle. So, who's the target audience? These are beings on the soul path of awakening who are prone to overanalysis. Ooh, especially y'all Virgos. Virgo south nodes, north nodes, uh, sun signs, moons, especially y'all. If you have Virgo in a significant placement, okay. Um, y- Let me say this: your overthinking and overanalysis is beautiful. It's perfect for what it's meant for. It's not meant for this. Not meant for doubt. So the target: those who have experienced rapid initiations or energetic fragmentation. L- Rapid initiations into some spiritual system. You don't even really understand what it is. But someone said you should be initiated, so you got initiated because everyone else is doing it. Individuals affected by incarnation trauma or false soul group identification. Okay, we talked about that. These are secrets caught in an endless self inquiry without clarity or rival. These three are in endless self inquiry. Endless. Who am I? Who am I? It doesn't stop. Symptoms and the activation phrase. So, again, I want you to feel this. The phrase that you keep telling yourself, or something like this, is I must keep finding out who I am. I'm on this journey to find out who I am. It's been 5 years, but I'm still trying to find out who I am. Symptoms: constant identity shifts with no clarity. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That is like almost every spiritual, like you this, then you do this, then you're part of this, then you're part of this, and then it's like you're constantly shifting with no clarity. Now, you can constantly shift with clarity. It's called transforming. It's called spiraling up. Yes. But if you're constantly going back and forth and you don't understand why that's happening, that's the problem, y'all. It's a problem. Feeling like you're always preparing but never arriving. Sudden loss of clarity or memory when trying to act on spiritual insight. Now it's time for you to do some spiritual work, and you're like, oh my gosh, where's that thing that, let me try to find what did they say to do? What's that book? What page was it on? Okay. So let's take a moment. I want you to write down your internal phrase of activation. Okay. What is the thing that you say to yourself? And let me say this, you may say, I don't know. That's okay. One thing that I know is that when you are in alignment with learning something, your spirit team is like, yes, and they will give it to you. You may meditate tonight and they're going to say, let me tell you what that phrase is. Or you're actually going to say it and you're going to say, oh, I do say that to myself. So if you don't know it now, that's okay. If you know it now, write it down. Who am I? We don't, what do you, we still trying to figure out in America. Are we called indigenous or Indians or African American or colored or Negro? So to know who you are spiritually, these are subtle distortions that will stop you, and you don't think that they're a big issue or a big thing, and they really are. They really are. Ooh, Cam, you said, "Where do I belong?" Mm, that's a good one. Rima, you said I felt that in my throat chakra. Because when someone says, "Who are you?" What do you say? I've always told you at least say I'm a spiritual being. But what else? What else? What else? Let's continue. So this is how we reverse it. We reclaim the power of still knowing that your essence does not require excavation, only witnessing. Listen, reclaim the power that your essence, who you are, you don't have to dig for it. It's going to show up. As we continue to do the work, it will show up. You will see. You will see how strong you are. You will see, oh, this is my gift. You will start to see it uncover itself. Your job is to witness it and to walk in it. The loop breaks when you accept that you are no longer becoming, you already are. You are. Now, you don't have to prove who you already are. That's it. No more proving. No more trying to do the things that look spiritual or do the things that look right, trying to prove. Listen, some of you are supposed to go public, I don't know, YouTube or TikTok or whatever, and you feel like I have to prove who I am. Like I have some sort of proof, or what do I have to wear, or how do I present myself? Constantly chasing credentials and outside approval traps you in a cycle that prevents walking your mission. This was me. This was me. 2018. Now, mind you, I was already doing spiritual work. I was already meditating. I had already went to South America and did some deep dive work. And I was still in my doctorate program because I had to prove something. I had to get this PhD so people can call me doctor, so that my parents would be proud of me. Whatever it was, I was proving something. And Spirit kept shutting it down. No, I could write a 50-page research paper in 24 hours. I was that good at writing, that good at what I did. And I would fall asleep, fall asleep. Spirit said, this is not it. This is not it. Who are you proving this to? I had 1 year left, just some seminars and one class, a statistics class. I can't remember the name of it. That's it. I'd already done my work. I had to present a body of work. It was done. Spirit said, you don't have to prove nothing to anyone. Nothing. I was chasing a credential. I didn't need that credential to be here teaching right now. Listen, there's nothing wrong with getting an education, but if it's in this distortion, then it's wrong. Because that would have prevented me from doing this. Let's continue. Mia, you said imposter syndrome because I'm not credentialed. It's a very true one. Let's continue. So what to do? Pause over learning. Stop the cycle of constantly seeking more knowledge and spiritual credentials. Instead, begin applying what you already know to your life and mission. Stop. There's some people that say, should I take this class? No, because you haven't done this yet. Do this first. Do this first. The first thing, when I was teaching Spiritual Academy and Inner Circle, the first thing we did was, first class we had was meditation. And in that class, you need to know who you are and what your spirit team is. First thing, before I'm going to teach you numerology and astrology, we had to learn how to connect to you first. You taking 50 million courses And none of the courses are teaching you how to integrate that into your life. That's the problem because you're just stacking stuff up. Begin applying what you already know to your life and mission. Begin applying it. The second one, release deserving mentality. Let go of the belief that you must earn or deserve your spiritual gifts. Understand that your gifts are inherently yours without needing external validation. I I haven't been doing my spiritual work, so I really shouldn't be healing other people, even though that's my gift. I don't You're saying you don't deserve, and that's wrong. I'm in this place right now. I don't even got my own shit together. And how am I going to help this person do their work? You're saying you don't deserve it. It's yours. I will always say this: the people that you are meant to heal, teach, counsel, get whatever your work is, they're not asking for not one certificate or nothing. They're not asking for not one degree, not one nothing. Of all of the thousands of people that I taught, no one has yet to say, "Can I see your degree from Rutgers University? Can I see your master's? Can I see your credentials?" No one's ever asked that. So why do you think that you have to prove that? The third one, practice being seen as you are. Allow yourself to be authentically visible without seeking new labels, titles, or approval. Embrace your current identity fully and vulnerably. So be yourself. Be yourself, your authentic, whatever that looks like. Don't say I have to rebrand myself or change myself or whatever to myself. I have to look like this. I'm a tarot reader, so I have to look this way or I have to have this, whatever. No, show up as you. Show up as you. You are so perfectly you, and there's no one else like you that exists. And when you don't show up as you authentically, something's off. So be you. Don't worry about anything or anyone. Okay? Trust your presence. Recognize that your presence itself is your true credential. Stop hiding behind titles and certifications and stand confidently in your truth. No one cares anyway. And if they really care, they're not part of your soul group and they're not here for you to help. Period. They're a non-factor. For real. Your presence itself is powerful. You just showing up. That's your credential. When you open your mouth and tell your story, or you open your mouth and you teach or you share, whatever that is, you dance, you paint, you color, you write, whatever that is, that right there is so spiritually powerful. It is so magnetic. Nothing else has to be done. That speaks for itself. Your presence speaks for itself, y'all. Let me let me talk to y'all for a second. Your energetic body, your auric body is so powerful that just by walking in the room, you shift the energy in that space. That's it. That's all Spirit is asking you to do. Nothing more. I don't have this right. I don't have this is not straight. My hair, my this, my that. No one cares about none of that. The ones that have something to say about that, that's not your people anyway. But your people, listen, show up as your authentic self. I have a student, I'm not going to say their name. When I first saw them, I knew that they were not being their authentic self. And it's okay. It's okay because people judge. Yes, even spiritual people judge. But I said, be you. This is not you. Be you. They came to two different retreats we had. They came to the first one, and I was like, I can tell. And so the second retreat they came to, and I like it makes me emotional thinking about it because they walked up the steps and I looked them up and down and I was like, that's it. That's you. It may not be acceptable to other people. Who gives a shit? But all of that is you. And their aura was so big. It was so bright. It was so powerful. They walked in the room and people were looking. And all of y'all have that. Whatever that looks like. Don't get caught in a trap of what you think spirituality is supposed to be like, or I have to wear these crystals, or I have to do my hair a certain way, or I have to have whatever, or I can't wear makeup, or I can't wear this, or I can't wear pants, or I can't do this or that, or I can't talk like this, or I can't curse, because God forbid you curse and you a spiritual person, or I can't eat meat, or I can't eat or I can't listen to, I don't know, Lil Kim. I don't know, whatever. Just show up. Shout out Christiane. Sometimes I watch, if you are following me on the Spiritual AU page, if you're a student, I follow you back. And I will lurk on y'all videos, y'all, and I'll leave a comment or a heart or something. And Christy Ann did a video. She did like some series of videos. I was like, Christy Ann did a video on Instagram. And so I'm watching her video, and it was one video she did, and I was getting so emotional. And I was like, freaking powerful. And I know she didn't have a fancy backdrop. I think she was in her car and she was just talking. And I was like, now you start this. Now, look how powerful this is. Just show up as you. Let me continue. Let me continue. I love y'all. I truly love y'all, soul family. Okay, where was we at? Where are we? Where are we? I think we were done with this, right? Let's go to the next slide. Okay. So distortion 3, displacement. So let's talk about the origin of displacement. This is reinforced by planetary grid manipulation and colonial trauma. This specifically impacts beings who were starseed or carry Earth's original grid codes. It creates a deep sense of feeling unsafe or out of place in the body, communities, or homes. Its roots are historical and cosmic disruptions that fragment spiritual anchoring. So let's talk about this. I don't think I speak about this enough. I don't speak about this publicly. We talk about this in class. So star seeds, or those who carry Earth's original grid codes. I've always said this, everyone on this planet is not the same. We all are not one. That is not the truth. There are beings that come from other places, that exist in other places, that are beings that are from here that will never leave here. And there are beings that were placed here, ancient mothers. Okay. So let's talk about that first before we get too deep into it. Let me explain this a little bit so that you guys have understanding of what I mean. So star seeds. These are beings who come from other dimensions, okay, that came specifically to assist in Earth's healing. So you're not from here. You're from Sirius, Lyra, Andromeda. You're from another system, dimensional system. Like you're from there. And you came here in part to assist with Earth's healing, okay, with one group. Those who are earth grid holders are ancient earth souls. You were one of the original mamas. Even if you're a man, you may have been the original mama. Okay, it's not gender. Um, yeah, it's not by gender. Okay, and the original beings here were in the feminine body, the female body. Okay, men came after. We won't get into that right now. So your ancient earth soul, you carry the original codes for planetary healing. It's in your DNA. It's been locked up. We're unlocking them. We're unlocking them now, but it's been locked up. You carry sacred memory and you carry temple restoration, y'all. What did we say in the beginning? The temples that were destroyed. You carry that within your DNA. Okay? Those are the two groups. Well, there's more than those two groups. Those are the two that I'm speaking to. These are the two that are in the collective of spiritual beings, this soul group. Okay? So you fit into one of those two. Okay, so because the trauma of manipulation, you feel chronically out of place. You like you look at the stars like, I know I'm not from here. Which one? Which one? You just feel like I don't like I, I'm weird. I keep knocking into things. I'm clumsy. Like just like okay. You struggle with embodiment or belonging. Like you try to be cool and go on a girls trip, but you're like awkward. Or you try to hang out with the fellas, but it's like I don't want to talk about what they're talking about. Like this, who cares who was on Drink Champs? I don't know, right? You struggle with that. You're like this body is weird. Now it's different than the last distortion when you feel like I'm not in the right body. This is not my body. It's a difference. You feel like why do like why do I have like what are fingers for? Like this is like weird. You ever look at your hands like this is what is a middle finger for? You ever look at your body like why do we have eyebrows? Why do we have two nostrils instead of one? Y'all, I know y'all look at your bodies like this is some weird stuff, right? Why do we get stretch marks? Why don't our skin just stretch? Right? So you have these things about your body that's just like, I don't know, sometimes you question it. Okay. Why do I have a belly button? What's up with the belly button? Like all little kids are like, what is this thing? You feel super hypersensitive in crowds, in certain environments, in the mall, like, oh my gosh, Walmart, the lights. Oh, I cannot. I'm having a panic attack or chaos, things that are like chaotic. Okay. You're hypersensitive to that. You're also hypersensitive in nature. Like you feel everything, you're hearing everything, like the trees are moving, like this is a lot. Like anyone else sees this? The bees are like all over me. You're just hypersensitive. Okay. This points to you being a starseed soul or earth grid keeper. Okay. And you feel these things because of trauma and manipulation. Let me know in the chat. If this is this any one of y'all? Any Anita said, "Why do I have to maintain this body?" Right? Like, what's up with the why? Why do we get wrinkles and sag? Like, why? This, like, why? I don't understand. Okay. All right. I want to make sure. I know it's not just me. Right. Okay. Now there's a science. There's information behind all of this. I'm just being a little facetious. Okay. But we ask ourselves those questions. Okay. Oh my gosh. All the time, Hanan. Why is this face on the All right, y'all are funny. Okay, so let's proceed. So we have that understanding. We understand star seeds. We understand those who have the codes. Um, a lot of times you also will feel like uh spiritual disassociation, and we'll get into that. We'll get into that in a moment. We'll get into that. So displacement. Let's talk about the function and the target. So the function of displacement, it pulls a soul out of its sacred present moment. Okay. Um, it creates yearning, future tripping, and obsession with portals and timelines. It weakens the soul's anchoring to the here and now, and it leads to restlessness and difficulty integrating spiritual experiences. Okay. So this is one of the core symptoms of distortion, pulling the soul out of its sacred present moment. What does that mean? So let me explain that a little bit. Um, this is when you keep projecting into the future or the past. So, for example, you always want to do past life regressions, or you want to always learn about your past, your history, what went on in the past. People have obsessions with that. Okay, that's based on a trauma and of this distortion, or the future. What's going to happen in the future, right? Constantly talking about the portals. It's the this portal, it's the that portal, it's the sunny sky portal. I don't know. It's the no, the 10:10 portal. It's the 10:14 a.m. portal. Everything's a portal, and you're kind of like, I have to get into this portal to do this work, right? Right? Constantly chasing because I have to get to this place. I have to get to this. I have to get here. Get here. I have to jump into quantum leap into this timeline. And all of that, and you literally are in now, and you're not trying to anchor into the now. You're not trying to integrate what's happening right now, today. These people are affected by um or constantly in a place of waiting for the next shift. And because of that, you don't do your work now. I'll just wait to the fall solstice to do my meditation. I'm not doing it tonight. Tonight, what's tonight? Tonight's nothing. I'll wait till next Monday. I'll wait till the full moon. It's just a quarter moon today. These are people that are constantly seeking the next reading, the next retreat, the next cosmic event. Reading, let's talk about readings for a minute. When I was doing consultations, I was doing readings. I was doing readings first, then consultations. I would literally tell people, no, I, I gave you work to do. Did you do that? You didn't do it? Then I will refund you. We're not doing another reading until you do that work. Sometimes you need to do the work. Stop trying to get a psychic or somebody to tell you what your future is. Am I going to be with this person? Am I going to? Let me tell you that psychic is 3D reality. It is not cosmos, and there are many different dimensions. So you can get caught in a dimensional trap based on how much you resonate with what they said. Listen, that's a whole different conversation. But you have people that are constantly looking for that. Okay. Or what's the next Mercury retrograde? What's the next cosmic event happening? They struggle with staying grounded, consistent, or embodied. I'm saying they, and I'm saying you. You know if it's you or not, right? You know if it's you or not. What is it called? Not Psychic Friends Networks. What is the one called? The Psychic, whatever. They're not a multi-billion-dollar industry for nothing. Multi-billion-dollar industry. People paying $10 a minute to speak to someone. $20, $40 a minute. Listen. Okay, so those are the functions of it. Let's talk about the target audience. Starborn beings and grid keepers with cosmic or multidimensional lineages. This is y'all. So when I'm talking about this, I'm talking about y'all. Okay? Spiritual pathfinders who carry multidimensional memory. These are the ones of you who go to sleep at night and you're like, I was in a different place and I'm back here, or I remember this lifetime. Those affected by planetary grid manipulation and colonial trauma. Let's talk about this. So, this displacement is everyone in this chat, everyone, including me, everyone. Okay, I just want to be clear on that. I don't want anyone to say, well, that's not me. If you are star seed or earth grid keeper, it's you. Okay, we good? I don't want nobody like, oh, who she thinks she is. Okay, let me know. Somebody said Cleo. Miss Cleo was actually gifted, but she is manipulation. Manipulation. We good. I want to make sure we good, and then we'll proceed to give you what you need. Okay. All right. Let's talk about planetary grid manipulation and colonial trauma. So when I'm talking about planetary grid manipulation, I'm talking about certain systems. There are artificial intelligence systems, purpose artificial intelligence. It is not true. Remember, I did the lesson on um, when I spoke about the last one I did, got the name of it already. But when I spoke about HARP, for example, and I said it is earthbound, it cannot do anything in the cosmos. It cannot do anything with our family that's coming from different dimensional spaces. They can't do nothing. They can control only the earth. It's earthbound. Um, what are those things in the sky? Oh my gosh, my mind. Chemtrails, earthbound. Okay, so when I'm talking about the AI, artificial intelligence, it is earthbound. Okay, and so there's planetary grid manipulation by artificial intelligence, things that are not real that have intelligence. The other thing is, and here's something that you probably don't know. What I'm going to tell you: precious stones, crystals, oil are all part of Earth's frequencies. They are meaningful to the Earth, to this physical Earth, and they are placed where they are placed for a reason. Diamonds are in. I'll give you diamonds are in Central Africa for a reason. Diamonds are in northern upstate New York for a reason. Rubies are in the Midwest for a reason. So there are crystals and selenites in Mexico for a reason. They're in these places because there are grids. You don't see it with your seeing eyes, but there are grids across this planet. And oil is in places where it needs to be for a reason. Trust me on this. When these things are mined, it disrupts the grid. It causes a disruption. Let me give you an example. And there are beings that know this. Let me give you an example. The United States has oil. It has enough oil that it doesn't need to buy oil from the Middle East. Doesn't have to get oil from there. Doesn't have to get oil from South America. It has plenty of oil. But why won't they drill their own oil? There are certain grids connecting with. When we devastate an energy grid, we devastate a space. Okay? And it goes deeper than that. It goes way deeper than that. Because dimensions can be built on top of certain grid spaces. That's for an entirely different conversation. And it brings in Mandela effect and speaks conversations of Tartaria into this. And we're not going to go there today. But all of these minds that are all over the world are purposely made to disrupt the grid. If you get a map of where all the diamond mines, where all these mines, you will start to see patterns, y'all. They're not random. Okay? All right. Colonial trauma. Colonial trauma. So we're talking about displacement. Those who are affected by colonization, which is everyone across the world, you have lost your language, your lineage, your culture. There was this, I saw the video, this African, I don't know where he's from, it's an African man. And he says, um, Black Americans have no culture. And we're like, "Well, yeah, we have culture, we have." And he says, well, what defines culture? What defines culture? And he says, what are your taboos? What is your language? He's asking things that defines culture. And the person was like, I don't know. And it's not just in this country, it's all over. There are very few people that have not been affected by colonialism. And it's a trauma because I can't stay in the present. I don't even know what my past is. And I'm trying to figure out my past so I can understand my future, but it's been distorted. Some of you will be really thrown or offended if you really went down your bloodline and found out that, oh shoot, you think that you are indigenous or African and you're actually, I don't know, Chinese, or you're actually from Europe, France or somewhere, I don't know. Then that messes everything up. Then I really don't know who I am. Maybe I should connect to that. So here's what I'm saying. These are manipulations that have happened that have affected starseeds and earthquake keepers very deeply. And because they have affected us in this way, it's very challenging to feel safe where we are. You don't feel safe. Y'all heard what happened in North Carolina? There was a woman, there was a Hyundai plant that was building batteries, and they were going to bring billions of dollars into this rural part in North Carolina, and over, I think, 13,000 jobs. So this place was suffering. Korea sent 350 Koreans to train the Americans on how to work in this plant. A woman, we'll call Karen, she calls ICE and says, there's like all these immigrants here. ICE locks them up. Listen, Korea is like, word? Korea sends a plane and was like, we can take all our people, take them back to Korea. Now, that's a whole nother conversation itself. But the people had a people. A lot of y'all don't have a people. Who are your people? I was telling someone, they said, Black people need to get together. And I said, along what line? What is the plan? What is the line? What is the foundation? If there's no foundation, how do you come together? Who rescues Black Americans? Who says, we got your back? There's not an African country that will do it. There's not an indigenous tribe that exists anymore that will do it, that hasn't been whitewashed, that will do it. And so you have this distortion within you that feels out of place. It doesn't matter if you can trace well, I'm from the Seminole, or I'm from this, and what? And when you don't have that foundation, it literally leads to fear because no one really has my back. This is the displacement, a distortion of displacement that you have. And you may say, well, I'm in the Caribbean. Oh, yeah? It's even worse in the Caribbean. It's even worse because Caribbean people identify as the island. Oh, I'm Jamaican, I'm Antiguan, I'm Trinidadian. What? You're what? Chinese, Indian, indigenous, African, from other islands or other countries in the Caribbean, so you identify with the island. But the island is only a couple hundred years old. So star seeds and grid keepers that have been affected by colonialism, you will always feel out of place in your bodies, your communities, and your homes. This is the target. You're the target. This is the function of it. Let's talk about how to reverse this. Well, let's talk about the symptoms first. I apologize. So, the internal phrase of activation is there is always somewhere else I should be. Let me tell you. How many of y'all have that feeling or you have a phrase like that? There is somewhere else that I'm supposed to be. I don't feel comfortable in this city, this town, this country. I feel like there's another place I have to be. There's somewhere else. How many of y'all have moved multiple places? Or spirit says, go to this state, go to this country, right? Every time I travel somewhere, I'm like, is this going to be the place where my heart feels settled? I just went to the jungle. It's not the jungle. How many? Like, be honest. Yeah, you may have a nice house and it's beautiful. You have a hot tub jacuzzi and you have a dope apartment with a nice view, but you feel like there's somewhere else I should be. When you say that phrase in your body, it causes displacement. The symptoms are feeling spiritually homesick. You're aching for a place where you feel, ah, I belong here. This is it. Another symptom is jumping from teaching to teaching without integration, causing fragmented learning and lack of grounding. Because it's somewhere else I need to be. I need to get teaching from this place or this person or whatever. So you never finalize it. You never fully integrate because you're here, there, everywhere. The inability to feel peace or belonging, even in places that are aligned with your soul's purpose. Spirit said to go there, and you're like, I just don't feel settled here. I just don't know what it is. These are the symptoms because you feel like there's always somewhere else I should be, y'all. Let's talk about the reversal. What do we do? Reestablish your anchoring through belonging in the now. Every sacred soul path must root before it rises, y'all. You have to be rooted somewhere before you can get to the next level, or you keep spiraling, same cycle over and over. At what point do you say, okay, enough is enough? Let me figure out what's going on in the here and now so I can spiral up instead of looping. Tired of looping. I tell this story. I know every time spirit's going to have me move somewhere because I will feel like I have to move. I have to move. And then I'll say, you know what? We like this place. I start painting the walls, decorating, and then it happens. Move now. Move this month. I just changed all the light fixtures. I finally got rooted here. And that's the point. That's the point. You may feel like, yes, you're meant to, your soul is saying, we're going to go somewhere. But where are you right now? Are you fully present in, like, where are you right now? Did you fully explore your home, your city, your neighborhood? Were you fully present in this space? Or where are you right now energetically in your work? I want to learn how to do this. Did you did you really understand this subject that you learned? Right? Even drinking water. I take the time to put trace minerals and things in my water, salt in the water. I'm gonna drink it and this is good instead of guzzling it down. No portal or future vision will hold until you are fully present and grounded, y'all. It won't happen. It won't happen. It won't happen. It won't happen. You in a relationship and waiting for the next relationship. Or, once we break up, I'm gonna get a guy, a man who's this and that and the other. Be in your relationship 100% right now. What is it about this relationship that is working? What are the beautiful things about it? Because you know what doesn't work about it, but what are the beautiful? I'm grateful that, you know, he was such an asshole that taught me how to love myself. I don't know. What are the beautiful things about the relationship that you're in right now? Well, at least he has white teeth, or at least her hair is always done. I don't know. What are the lovely things about this now that you're grateful for? Once you get to that place, ooh, once you are, oh, I felt that. That's for somebody. That's crazy that I just felt that for somebody. Once you get into that place, once you get into that place of gratitude about this relationship, I promise you, it will end. They will say, you know what, this is not working. You'll be like, what? And you'd be like, well, damn, okay. It will end amicably. It will end amicably. And now you're in the space, gratitude, good. And then here comes such and such. I was just waiting for you. You had to be grateful where you were, and then for me to show up. Listen, integration is sacred. Integration is sacred. Integration is sacred, y'all. Learning without integration keeps your medicine from reaching those who need it. I'm teaching this whole lesson, and maybe 20% of y'all, maybe less than that, will actually write the notes down, go back and rewatch it, study it, and say, let me do this. You can't do all three at one time. Pick one. Pick the one that stands out and say, let me work on this. Let me take some time and actually work on this and integrate this. Stop looking for, well, I want to find out what the aliens' names are. Are the aliens really black? I want to find out, are there people living under the ocean? The hell, that is not what your spirit team is guiding you to do. If they guided you here and you resonating with this, then do this. Because next week is the fall equinox. And next week, if you are cloaked with these distortions, stuff can't be shifted. I'm telling you, it can't be shifted. Things have to be shifted because once we hit the winter solstice, we go into deep transformation to prepare us for next year. I don't know about y'all, but I try to get all the traumas and I ask, is there anything left in me? Reveal it. What is the trigger? I try to find those things so I can heal them. That is the work. Not being spiritually entertained. Y'all stop trying to be spiritually entertained. I'm coming on camera now. Ooh, such and such is going to be on. Let me hear what they got to say. You're not here for that. Don't entertain it. People will ask me, what do you think about this? Nothing. I think nothing about that. You're caught up in something you shouldn't be caught up in. Did you hear what such and such did? Oh my gosh. They uncovered a new, I don't know, pyramid or something. Good. Did your spirit team tell you to go there? If not, Why are you not doing the work you're supposed to be doing? Why are you not integrating? Why are you not practicing what you already learned? That's the work. That's the work. That's what's challenging about spiritual work. Because we want the easy way out. We want what's microwavable. We want what's fast. We don't want to go through hell. This work is hellish. I'm not going to tell you otherwise. It's not peace, love, and light. Anybody that tells you it's peace, love, and light, they on some other stuff. They really smoking something. And when they come down from what they smoking, they'll be like the spiritual stuff doesn't work. But I'm telling you right now, this is hellish. It is challenging. Like you have to look at yourself. You really have to look at yourself and hold yourself accountable and actually do the work and practice because it's a practice. You practicing, you practicing, you practicing until it is integrated within you. I was speaking to my students last week, and we were talking about protecting yourselves. You subconsciously, when you go out publicly, you're constantly protecting yourselves. So when you don't do it, you feel something's off because it's now integrated within you that I'm constantly protecting myself. I constantly meditate so that when I don't, I feel like my day is off. Okay? We're not trying to be entertained, get a good feeling, get gassed up. Because someone says something that made you feel good about yourself and your space that you're in right now, or you feel validated, but you're not doing the work. What is the work? This. Taking this and doing it, implementing it. Every week, I send out an alignment letter every single month, every single Monday morning, send out an alignment letter. And I give practices. There's a section literally called, I think, practical applications. I'm saying it wrong. I'm tired, y'all. And I give certain things you can say. There's affirmations, there's rituals you can do, there's certain things you can do, but do it. I tell the students actually do it. Don't just read it. Oh, this is cool, this is cute. And those who are signed up for the alignment letter, I know they're doing it. I know they're doing the work. Because you know a tree by the fruit it bears. You know a tree by the fruit it bears. Let's get back to it. I channel the alignment letters and I do them myself. I read the messages to myself. So there's a closing transmission that I do every week, and sometimes I receive it like poetry, and sometimes I receive it like a letter, and sometimes midway while receiving it, I break down emotional because I'm like, is this for me or for those who's this for? This is amazing. This is beautiful. And it keeps you aligned. It keeps you like accountable on your spiritual path. Let's continue. So, what to do? What to do? Decide readiness. Make a conscious decision. I am ready to serve with what I know right now. This commitment anchors you in the present and stops future tripping. Okay. List master skills. Create a comprehensive list of what you have already mastered. Recognizing your current knowledge builds confidence and clarifies your offerings. Number 3, set completion boundaries. Set a time boundary for your learning. I will complete this program and then teach from it. This prevents endless preparation and encourages integration. Number 4, teach while learning. Begin sharing your knowledge even as you learn. There is always someone one step behind who can benefit. Release the fear of getting it wrong. Wisdom grows through practice. Okay? There's quite a few people on here that are registered for the Sister Myra's astrology course. I took this course with her years ago. When I tell you, I integrate this, I practice this. I remember what she said about my seventh house or this placement. And I go back to the chart and I say, okay, I'm doing this work. It's in alignment with this. It's not something that, okay, I took it and then I'm done. What's the next astrology thing? No, this is the thing I was led to. I've shared knowledge from this place. Integrate that learning. Don't just go to the next thing, especially when your soul calls you to something in particular. She literally says, she's still learning astrology. And she asked Spirit for her to be the greatest astrology teacher, and she's still learning herself. And that's just one modality, y'all. Okay. So it's infinite. And I'm not saying jump from one thing to the next. I'm saying if your soul is saying, this is the thing right now, this is the thing right now. Focus on it, what's right now. Like, okay, I'm going to do this, and next I'm going to do this. No, do this right now, fully engage in it, fully commit to it. Okay. So let's go over the three distortions. The first one, again, was false responsibility. This is the overgiver distortion that overwrites sovereign service with martyr programming. It causes you to carry others' burdens as if they were your own, leading to chronic exhaustion, guilt, especially when resting, and blurred boundaries. Its activation phrase is, it's my job to carry what others cannot. The second one, the identity loop. The constant seeker distortion that mimics spiritual awakening, but traps you in endless self analysis and identity shifts. It prevents embodiment and external impact. It's often triggered by incarnation trauma. And the activation phrase is, I must keep finding out who I am. And the third one, displacement. The spiritual homesickness distortion that pulls a soul out of its sacred present, creating yearning and restlessness. It targets specifically starborn beings, okay, and the grid workers. And you feel out of place. And this phrase activating is there's always somewhere else I should be. Okay. So what I want you to take from this again is that this is for you. If you're here, this message is for you. If you resonate with this in any way, if you said that's me, this is for you. And I want you to understand that these distortions are subtle. Subtle meaning they're hard to really point out, and people overlook them for the bigger traumas, right? But these are literally blocking you, or I shouldn't say blocking you. You're on your path, but it slows it down. It's like walking through a quicksand on your path or trying to run in a pool. Okay. And the reason why is because they create this weight on you, this third dimensional weight that doesn't belong to you. None of these things belong to you. They were imposed on you. The false responsibility was imposed on you. The identity loop imposed on you. Displacement, all this imposed on you as a spiritual being. And you're just trying to shake it off. Shake it off. And so this week, what I want you to do before the fall equinox next week, before Saturday, Sunday, I want you to rewatch this, go through it, go through your notes, find the one that is the most, there's one of them that's like blaring at you. Find that one and start working on it. Okay? Start working on it. Don't go too deep. Don't try to research and get books, all that. Everything is here. Just do this basic work that I just shared with you and start working on that one so that when the fall equinox comes, your spirit team is okay. You've been working on this. Let us take it from you. Let us remove it. And you will feel, you're going to feel in that the last week before the next eclipse, you're going to feel like a huge weight has been lifted off. And this is what that weight is going to be. This is what that weight is going to be. You'll feel it in October. I'm so excited for October because I know so many people feel that weight lifted off of them so that in December you can go deep in your work. Okay? So with that said, let me stop the sharing. There we go. So with that said, I hope that you all really got some good information from this. Like I said, I know it was like note heavy. I didn't want to overwhelm you, but I know that some of you like need the specifics in that way. But I hope that you really take this transmission um, as the powerful thing that it is. There literally was interferences that were happening today that tried to prevent me from even coming here and sharing this, like real talk, y'all. So I knew how powerful it would be for those of you who resonated with it and actually start doing it. You will see the shift in your life. You will. Like I guarantee that. You will see the shift. Okay? Um I saw a couple of questions come through. I apologize that I was not able to answer any questions that you have tonight. Um but this is me holding space. So I'm going to have to do what I suggest you all do whenever you hold space. This is my container. I'm going to take my container and I'm going to release it in the shower and then go to bed tonight. For those who are in the collective next week, uh, on the 21st, we actually have our session. And so I'm going to go over some of these things, some of the work that you've done, because I know you're going to do the work this week. We'll go over that next week. And then I'm going to help you do the work that you need to do for the fall equinox. Okay, that's the 21st, next Sunday. Okay. With that said, everyone else have a wonderful, wonderful night. Those who are in the astrology course, I will see you Tuesday. I will see you on Tuesday during the orientation. Everyone else, have a wonderful, wonderful night. Sweet dreams, safe travel. I love you so, family. Know how powerful you are. And I want you all to just show up authentically as yourself every time. All right? Peace, everyone. Good night.